Good morning. This is Travis Bement with YourOrlandoMortgage.com, and this is my economic commentary for the week of October 26, 2009. Are we doomed to fail again? There's an old saying that goes somewhat like this: those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. In looking over some recent news in the mortgage industry, I have seen some trends that could eventually give truth to that old adage. The first concern is loan to value. Many of the loans that have failed in the recent mortgage crisis were given to borrowers with little or no money down. The feeling is that borrowers who have little invested in the property will find it easier to walk away in a time of trouble. A recent survey indicated that 59% of sales during 2009 have relied on FHA, VA, or USDA financing. Down payments on those programs range from 3.5% to 0%. Another possibly disturbing trend is that up to 22% of recent sales have been cash. Most analysts believe that this is generally an indication of investors making multiple purchases of distressed properties. A big part of the recent foreclosure trend is investors walking away from their properties. Finally, there is the view that incentives, mainly the $8,000 first-time homebuyer credit, have brought in discount-minded borrowers who are not yet responsible enough for home ownership. Since this is my chosen profession, I will say that I understand and acknowledge these issues, but I simply don't feel that we are going to have the same result as they did in the previous meltdown. First and foremost, while down payments have not increased, guidelines for credit and underwriting are significantly more difficult. The average buyer putting little or nothing down should have credit scores that are 50 to 75 points higher than in years past. We should also remember that the cost of conventional financing with 10% down, for example, is much higher than it was in years past. In many cases, highly qualified home buyers that previously would have chosen conventional financing are now moving towards FHA financing. If you combine decreasing home prices with a movement towards fixed-rate loans, you are eliminating many of the problems with current distressed loans. Finally, the only real downturn in investor purchasing multiple properties or using cash is the pressure that those purchases have in pushing home values down. Home prices currently have fallen to 2003 to 2004 levels, and many believe that they have further to fall. In short, it is my belief that while there are potential problems for us currently, the use of stronger lending guidelines should help alleviate many of the problems we are currently facing and avoid us facing them in the future. Good news on rates: they remain steady for the week. The Federal Reserve announced that they still have enough cash on hand to purchase mortgage securities through the end of the first quarter of 2010. These purchases are widely believed to be the main factor in keeping rates in check. Thanks, and we'll see you next week.